Okay, so we are going to go over how to create an ad in Facebook so that we can get leads. So one of the reasons you want to advertise on Facebook is because everybody has Facebook on their phones. And so we want to make sure that we're targeting people there, but also we don't just want to give away free information because we want to be able to connect with them after they interact with the ad. So on the left-hand, so you're going to go to business.facebook.com. If you're already logged into Facebook, it will automatically pop up. If you're not logged into Facebook, you just log in with your normal credentials. It's also important to remember that if you want to run ads, you have to have a Facebook business account. You cannot do it from your own private Facebook account. So on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of options. And down here is Ads Manager. So when we click Ads Manager, it's going to open up a new tab. If you've never ran an ad before, it's going to prompt you in the lower left-hand corner to update the payment. You don't have to necessarily worry about that right now. So I'm going to close that. And right here, this green button that says Create, we're going to click Create. And there are 6 different options as far as how you want the ad to look and what your goal of the ad is. And Facebook will use, based off of these, whatever you choose, Facebook will change their algorithm, and there's some different features within the ads that Facebook you have access to that you might not in other. So we're going to click Leads. I suggest naming your campaign. So on the very bottom, so there's the campaign. I always do, if it's a property, I'll do the property address, because you can essentially, under a campaign, is you have ad sets and then the actual ad. So you can run multiple ads under the same campaign, where some of these things are automatically saved for you, so you don't have to redo it. So let's say you have a property and one you just want video views, and then the other one you actually want to get leads, then you can set those both up under campaign. So I'm just going to call this 123 Main Street. And then don't worry about naming these bottom 2 right here. So we're going to click Continue. Okay. So at the top here, you can see here's the campaign name. Now, special ad category, it is imperative that you select housing. We are governed by fair housing law, and Facebook got in hot water a couple of years back for allowing users to advertise housing. And in those advertisements, it violated fair housing. So Facebook has gotten a lot stricter on what is allowed. And when they're checking the ad before it goes live, if there's anything to do with housing in there and you did not select this category, they will just flat out deny your ad. Sometimes they tell you why, and other times they don't. But it's a great fail-safe that also helps to make sure that you're hopefully not violating fair housing. Okay, we're going to scroll down. We want to make sure that it's United States. It should default to whatever country you are in. And then down here, buying type, there are a few different options. They actually removed it for lead type. So auction is what you want to do. And then the campaign objective, you can change this if you would like. If you clicked the wrong one earlier, you can go ahead and change that. Real easy right there. Okay, and then there's A/B testing. If you're just getting into ads, I wouldn't worry about that. That essentially pushes 2 different ads out to see which one performs better, and then they prioritize the ad that performs better. And then the Advantage campaign budget, you can read there, is the algorithm in the back will begin to work in such a way to target based off of who's interacting with the ad and delivery optimization. So in a little bit, we're going to tell it that we want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram and one other platform. And depending on, let's say it's on Instagram and you're getting a lot more interaction on Instagram, then what Facebook will do is they'll take your budget and they'll start applying more of your budget to Instagram because you're getting better traction on that platform. So I always like to have that on. Now, as far as campaign budget, I do a lifetime budget. I don't do a daily budget. So essentially what this is, if you do this, your lifetime budget, you can set it to whatever you want, and it will essentially keep running every day until you hit that $35 mark, if that makes sense. If you don't do this, it's super simple. When we go to the next one, we can break down what you want to spend in a little bit different way. Sometimes if you're selling a house and you know it's going to be off the market soon, you might not want to be running ads for 10, 12, 14 days. Okay, so this is where we get into how we're going to collect that information from the individual. So you can send them through your website, but you need to have a form on your website where they're going to write in their information. You can send them to Messenger. However, you will not necessarily be able to collect their email and phone number because it just opens Messenger window. Or Instagram, or it will, if they interact with it, then they'll call you. Or if you have a special app for your business. So for the sake of ease and allowing Facebook to do most of the work for us, we're going to do instant forms. And then on the Facebook page, you want to make sure if you manage multiple pages, you're advertising for the right page. You can see I have 10 pages that I manage, so I don't want to accidentally sponsor an ad from something that has nothing to do with my real estate page. So then here is budget and schedule. So again, you can do daily budget or lifetime. I like to do lifetime. I have never put more than $50 into an ad for 10 days, and I've never gotten less than 5 leads. So it just depends on how much money you want to spend and how long you want that ad going. If you're just getting into ads, I'm going to recommend $35. You could do $25 if you want. And here for the lifetime, we always start the ad tomorrow. Because we're in a special category, sometimes it takes them 12 to 24 hours to approve the ad. And in the end, I typically only run an ad for 10 days. That's enough time for the algorithm to kick in, as well as if you go less than that, the algorithm doesn't work as well. If you go longer than that, it's going to cost more money and you're not necessarily going to get the same effect. So 10 days would actually end on the weekend. I don't like ending ads on the weekend. So if it's 10 days is going to end on a Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I automatically bump it to Monday in the afternoon at 5 p.m. And actually my start time, I tell it to start at 5 a.m. So this ad will start running at 5 a.m. on March 23rd. It will end April 3rd at 5 p.m. So it's going to divvy up for those days that $35. You do have the ability to choose specific times you want it to run. I don't suggest that. Let Facebook's algorithm do the work for you. Okay, now we need to create a specific audience. So we're in Butte County. So the first thing we're going to do, so it's people living in or recently in this location. This is really important. You want to make sure that it's recently in this location, because what will happen is if somebody's on Facebook and their signal from their phone shows that they were in this radius and they meet the other criteria, they will actually, the property, that ad will pop up in their Facebook. So think if you have an investment property or you have a home that might be good, parents might want to buy a house for their child because they're coming to Chico State. Run an ad during graduation weekend, targeting them for 2 weeks after they've left Chico, and they will get your ads, even if they're in LA, San Francisco, San Diego, or in another state, because we chose recently in this location. So typically for locations, because we're in Butte County, I usually like to add Chico, Paradise, and Oroville. So as you start to type, it will pop up and then you'll just click. Now the minimum radius you can do with fair housing is 15 miles. So you can always extend this. If you don't want to do 3 cities, you can extend this out to like 20 miles. And then you can see how that gets bigger. You can do that either way. I prefer to do Chico, Oroville, and Paradise, because then it gets me up into the foothills, but then I'm not going way westward where I really might not want to do business. So then we're going to add Paradise. So if anybody is living in, currently in, or is past in this, within these 3 circles in a certain amount of time, they will see the ad as long as they meet all the criteria that we tell. You cannot discriminate against age, so do not change the age. If you do, they will flag your ad and they won't let it run. You also cannot discriminate against gender, so that's why it says all. So detailed targeting, demographics, interests, and behaviors. This is where we get into how and who we're going to specifically target. So Zillow. So we don't want to, let's see, we don't want to place, let's see. Oh, sorry, I was typing in the wrong box. Let's come back down here. Okay, so Zillow. You want to do real estate, not Premier Agent. If you do Premier Agent, your ad is going to show up in the newsfeed of every single agent that pays Zillow for leads. We don't want to necessarily advertise intentionally our listings to other agents, unless maybe it's a super unique property or something like that. But typically you just want Zillow. And then Property Finder. So you type in property, it'll pop up right here, Property Finder. If it is a home that would be a good first-time home buyer, there's actually a first-time home buyer grant. And then if you type in first-time, there's also first-time buyer. So if anybody on Facebook that meets all these requirements, your ad will show up in front of them. So again, we're targeting people who in some way, shape, or form on Facebook or any website they've logged in with Facebook. So let's say on realtor.com, they sign in with their Facebook account. Well, Facebook is going to track that behavior because they use their account to log in. So all these we want to be real estate related. Also, if it's a single family home, if you type in single, you get single family detached. Those are the 5 that I primarily use. You can use others. If you click on suggestions, once you've done this, it'll give you a bunch more. Stay away from investing or industry. You could do investing if it's an investment property, but if it's just your typical single family home, you can add Trulia, you can add residential, you could even put in mortgage calculator. So folks that are looking into mortgage options or things like that, or mortgage loans, banking. So as we add those, you can then narrow your audience even more. I would not suggest doing that in Butte County. We have under 300,000 people. This would be more if you were in a larger metro area. Okay, so we're going to scroll down to placements. There's 2 options. There's Advantage Plus or manual. So I always like Advantage placements. Again, this will allow Facebook to place your ad on whatever platform at certain times are going to get most of the interaction. So again, it's targeting people when they're on their phones the most. And then don't worry about optimized delivery. that will all stay the same. So we're going to go to next. And we're going to let this load. Okay, so if you have some sort of branded content in your ad, you need to add that. Typically, you wouldn't have that. So that's a special circumstance. So if we're telling you to also go to Instagram, we need to make sure that we click our Instagram. If yours isn't connected, there was a connect button right here. So then this is where we choose our format, a single image or video or a carousel. I'm a big proponent of just a single image or video rather than the carousel. If you do a carousel and you have, let's say, 5 pictures of the home, the person is just going to click through that carousel and determine whether they want to look anymore and click. Again, the goal is you want to give people enough to pique their interest that gets them to click the button. So single image or video. And then we're gonna come down here to add creative. So this is where we get, it will tell you the types of placements. So you can see here feeds in ads, videos, reels, stories, reels, apps, search results, instant articles, all of those things. So it tells you here that cost per result might rise to too few ad creative. So you can expand the audience. Essentially what it's saying is, hey, your audience is really limited. So we're going to spend your money. It just means that your leads are going to cost you more based on how narrow your audience is. But that's not always a bad thing because you want people clicking and interacting with your ads that are actually interested in real estate, not people who are just kind of curious. So you can edit the media. So this is where you can replace whatever it is you want to use. So if it is a house and you're not wanting to promote a video, let's say it's that epic shot from inside the house, you click replace. I already have one here, but you can click upload and it's going to pop up this. I'm going to type in, this is a listing that I had that sold. So let's see. That's a pretty cool shot. So we'll use that as the ad cover. Now, if you're going to do a video, I would suggest in Canva, wherever you created a thumbnail for YouTube that looks like this right here, is I would use that thumbnail, but I would just add a play graphic over it. If you want questions on how to do that, you can reach out to me. So I've got the photo or the video uploaded, and I'm going to click next. And here it automatically puts it in all of them. So you can then crop and adjust. Again, some photos aren't going to be that great. So this one actually, even though it's a cool photo, probably isn't going to be the best. Or you can click original, but then again, you can see it gives you warnings. So you can mess around with it, play with it, see exactly, kind of fine tune it so that you get the look that you want. And then you click next. And then you can see over here on this side, it starts to spit out examples of what it's going to look like. So it's loading slowly. So as far as optimization, I always turn on all optimization. That gives Facebook the ability to add all of these things. So let's say it's in a story and you wanted to grab their attention. Facebook will automatically add some sort of upbeat music that connects to that, which is always great. So again, this is where I don't mind Facebook taking some liberty. So I'm going to click done. And you're going to see that now over here, you have all these previews that you can kind of look through. So we're going to come down here. Now, this is the two most important things about these ads is the photo and then what we put in for the primary text, headline, and description. So the primary text, as I type, you'll see it shows up between sponsored and the photo. So for this one, you know, it's the indoor hot tub overlooking the foothills. Let's say, you know, we're getting ready to go into summer. Let's say the house you're selling has a pretty sweet pool. You could put a picture of the pool, and your primary text could be something about, this could be the perfect home for you to cool off this summer. Beat the heat in Chico. Check out this home, something like that. So don't worry about being over crazy creative. Again, most people aren't going to read the primary text, and you'll see why here in just a second. So check out this view. Can you imagine ending your long day soaking in this view? So kind of made a pun. Soaking, it's the hot tub, the view. You can add, so check out this view. You can add emojis here. So I'm gonna add a mountain because it's the foothills. Check out this view. So you can see how it adds right here. Now the headline is going to be big, bold font. That's gonna show up on the bottom right here. So this is, check out this incredible home. And then what I like to do is I will add a couple of these greater than, less than, to make it look like an arrow and it points over. Or you can even do emojis and do an arrow that's pointing that way. And then again, it's going to draw their eye to push the button. And then the description is under this. So this was a custom built home. Check out this custom built home before it's too late. And then the call to action is actually learn more. So then this is what the ad is going to look like. And again, you can click on these different options of what they're going to look like, so you can kind of see what it looks like on the different platforms, what your ad is going to look like. So it actually looks pretty cool. Okay, now destination. So once they click learn more, the destination is where is this going to take them. Now remember, earlier we clicked on the instant forms. So you can have a preset form that you then use all the time if you want. So we click create form and we're going to click continue. What I love about this is it's going to give us a preview of what it's going to look like for the person interacting once they've clicked our ad. So the form name, I usually will put the title of the property, or if this is going to be one that I'm going to use all the time for a new home that's for sale, I will just do this. New home. Nobody sees this form name other than you. Now, the form type, there's more volume. So essentially what that is it's designed for people that are on their phones. Let's face it, nobody's on Instagram and Facebook on their desktop unless they're managing an account or something like that. So I always do more volume. So then we come down to the intro. Now you can change the image from what you had in the ad. Maybe it's the front of the home. I usually like to keep the image the same only because then there's continuity. But if you have, let's say, another epic view of the home, let's see. Let's do this one. This is going to be the header of the form. So you'll see in just a second once that is done. And it does tell you the recommended size. It will automatically crop it if it does not fit in that. So then the greeting, this is what's going to be on this first page. So the headline is going to be this. So again, you have to keep in mind, what was the ad for? It was they want to find out more information about this house. So something along the lines of, thank you for checking out this amazing home. And then the description is underneath. Please click next to view more photo or to get more information. Please click next to get. Computer's gonna be funny. Oh, that's because I have to, wow. To get to see more info. Okay. So then we go to questions. This is the next page. So this is after they've clicked next. So it defaults full name, their name, and their email. I always put their email, name on top, and I always add phone number. So again, when you're using Facebook's form, it's going to automatically pull their information in. Now they can edit it if they want. But again, when we're on our cell phones, usually we're just in the habit of clicking that blue button that's next. Most people will not change that information. Sometimes they do, sometimes it's very inappropriate. Don't delete them, just obviously don't try to reach out to them if you know it's all fake. Now the description, this is what I say, is please confirm your information below. Because you have to have some sort of description. And then we come down here to privacy policy. So we have to have a privacy policy. So if you are with EXP, if you open a new tab and you scroll and you put in your website address, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's privacy policy. And if you click on that, it's right here. So I'm just going to copy this and add this link. And then under link text, we're going to say privacy policy. And then message, and then they'll submit. So this is the final view that they see. I don't like the thanks, you're all set. I just like to say, check out, thank you for checking out this home. You can get all the photos, videos, and information below. And then view website, right? And then link. Okay, so you can then, remember how we opened our page, our EXP website. I'm just going to go back to the first homepage. And then this is where you can type it in. So you type in the address. Now because it's sold, we'll see if it pops up. Okay, it didn't because it's sold. So I'm just going to say Chico. It will pop up if it's an active listing. So let's just pick this house right here. That's a cool one. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, so you can see here is the page. So I'm going to copy this. Again, this would be the property that you are promoting. It's your property, but add link. So I'm going to paste that right there. Okay. And instead of view website, I put view home now. And then you click publish, and it is going to run this ad for you. So I'm not going to publish it because I don't want to run this ad for a property that's already sold. There are some settings in here if you are a little more savvy with Facebook ads. And then lastly, what happens when somebody clicks? So I'm going to close this. What happens is on this homepage here under leads, they will show up. So you can see here, all these are leads from way back in the day. They'll pop up here, and you can then take their information if you click on them. So this is me. I clicked on my own ad because I wanted to see how it was working. There's the phone number, there's the email address. So this is where that information will pop up. If you're using KV Core, you can connect Facebook leads to KV Core to automatically bring it in for you and set up a smart campaign so that as soon as they click that button, they automatically go into KV Core, and then as they're looking at the house, they get a text from you from your KV Core business number. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to help walk you through it.